And we're back. So I've been watching a lot of videos online about people's toolboxes and all the tools they have and stuff, but I haven't seen a lot of videos on what people take to the auto wrecker or the auto salvage yard, the recycle yard, whatever, the pick and pull, whatever you want to call it. So I thought I'd do a little video on my wrecker bags, my go bags that you take when you're going to see the junkyard dog or when you're road dogging it and you want to fix things when you break down. So got 4 bags here. I'm going to go through everything that I carry. Obviously, if you know what you're working on ahead of time, you can slim it down, put in what you need. You know, if you're doing a Honda, you want 8, 10, 12, 14, 17, 19, stuff like that. 32 if you're doing the spindle or CV thing. You know, if you're doing an old American car, you might need standard. If you're doing something from the 80s, early 90s, you might need standard and metric. So I just thought, you know, work on a lot of stuff. Pulled a engine out of a 91 GMC van, OBS style TVI motor recently. Took some heads off a LS3 and heads and an intake off an LS3. And, you know, sometimes go and exchange a boat out at Harris Ranch and you blow a water pump with Cummins. And guess what? Luckily, I had some tools with me. So, thought I'd do a little video. I shot a message to Richard Holdner thinking, you know, he goes to the wrecker a lot. I was kind of interested in seeing what he takes. And I didn't seem real. I love Richard Holdner, but he didn't seem real responsive. So, thought I'd do a little video on what I got. So, starting out, what we got is 2 12-inch bags from Harbor Freight, 2 15-inch bags from Harbor Freight. I've got links all set up that I'm going to put in the description of everything I got here. This is not a Harbor Freight ad, but I watch their sales. I'm inside track, and I buy everything on sale. You'll see at least one of the wrenches in here I got at the flea market, and but you know, it's hard to beat a wrecker go bag for you know, the prices you get at Harbor Freight. You know, it's for me, you want to have a few really good tools so you don't break your knuckles, but then the rest of it is about having stuff that helps you get something apart. So for starters, what I'd like to say is, you know, if you're road tripping, I love these things. I've been carrying these things, obviously not Mr. Gasket. I think the links I put in here, they're for Calvan tools, but these are Mr. Gaskets that Summit had on sale. You can pinch the hoses off. So like, let's say your heater core takes a crap. You can pinch the 2 lines going in and out of the heater core and then keep running. You got to change a radiator somewhere. You can pinch the 2 lines, keep the water in the engine, and then just change out the radiator. Or if you're changing out something else and you want to save stuff, or you want to control when the water comes out, these things are invaluable. I think I got these from Summit for like $8 a piece, which is a ripper deal. I got the old school Calvan or KD ones that I've had since I was a mechanic in college, but I couldn't pass on another set. So I'll start out with the easiest box. The easiest one is this one here. I'll move these guys and then we'll come back to them. But so these 2 are the 12s. I think we're going to do those last. But we'll start out with I put it links near the bottom on, so I started out with 2 backpacks, and the backpacks, they're just too darn heavy. I'd put one on my back, one on my son's back, and we both were dying. By the time we packed all this stuff in 2 backpacks, it was a killer. So I decided, you know what? With 4 bags, we can take a wheelbarrow in at pick and pull, so we do a lot of pick and pull. If you've ever heard of it, Row 52 is awesome for finding your cars. We've been to pretty much most of the pick and pulls in Northern California. We're on like the tour right now. So with these bags, a lot of the pick and pulls have a cart, so you can just throw these bags in the cart. We've pulled, like I said, we pulled a 91 350 out of a 3/4 ton van, and we had the backpacks on that deal, but I took a tie strap with me and I tied the backpacks to the gantry when we rented the gantry, and then we didn't have to carry them on our backs. So that's why when I bought these bags, I thought, you know what, I could just take a tie strap, tie these to the gantry that you used to pull the motor, or throw them when we pulled the heads off the LS3, I just threw them in the cart and worked. Actually, that was still backpacks. So actually, I have only taken these to the wrecker once. But so far, I can find the tools better and stuff. We've taken them on a few road trips and stuff already. Like I said, we had a water pump go out at Harris Ranch on a Cummins, made it to O'Reilly before they closed, and had enough tools. I'll go through some of the tools we used on that. But starting out, like I said, this first bag, 15-inch bag, I've got an impact. Doesn't have to be Ryobi. I like Ryobi though. I think the price is good. Generally, I take 4 batteries with me to the wrecker. So I got 2 for the impact, which I never use that many. And you got to have your magic Sawzall. Obviously, the name is not Sawzall with Ryobi, but you got to have one of these babies. It makes it easier when you got to get into stuff. I've tried pulling engines out of wrecked cars. We tried to pull a 350 out of about a 91. I don't know what it would be called. It was a 4x4 1500 Chevy that I think it had rolled and hit something head on. I'm afraid the guy probably died that was driving it, but it had headers. It was a sweet car. We cut into that thing for like 2 hours just to find out that the motor mounts had sheared the bolts right off the block on that. So got to take a Sawzall with you, and with the Sawzall, you got to have a lot of blades. So I bought these at Christmas from Home Depot. These are the Milwaukee ones. They look pretty good for getting it. And obviously, you're not going to use the wooden nail blade, but they look pretty good. My go-to, generally, I go buy a bunch at Harbor Freight. I love these long ones. You get into fenders and everything else. I'll usually take 2 sets of these. These are 9-inch. I got 2 different ones here. These are 14 tooth per inch. So you get 5 in this. You get, so then here's another 5. These are 18 tooth per inch, and I'll put all the numbers on here. This one's a 68039. So then you got 10 9-inch blades to cut through fenders, hoods, firewalls, frames, you name it. And then I like the short ones too. So I take 2 sets of these. You go through these, I can't believe. These are 24 TPI, number 66035. I go through these things like there's no tomorrow. So I'll take 2 packs of these, 2 packs of those. And then this is like a pruner one, but it will cut thin steel. That thing you get in there and really knock some stuff out. This is a 12 TPI. It says 8 to 12. I don't know what that means. I guess it varies, but it's a 12-inch. you take all this stuff, you're cutting into cars like there's no tomorrow. You're not going to run out of blades. So that's it as far as the cutting tools and that. Now, sorry, let's get into the main bag here. With the main bag, what we got, some of this stuff I haven't put away yet. This is the 25-inch breaker bar. I highly recommend taking a big breaker bar. This is a Harbor Freight special. I have not, I was skeptical on these initially. I have not broken one. It does the job. I've got 2 of these things now. I just recently bought this one on sale. This is a set of, you got 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/8 inch wobbles. It's from Harbor. It's a 67971. They had it on sale. I couldn't pass it up. I was like, man, I didn't have 1/4 inch extensions I'd been taking. I had everything else. And I was like, wow, lifetime warranty, all this Pittsburgh stuff, lifetime warranty. I've heard different things, but generally when I've taken stuff into Harbor that's broken, they're pretty good about it, it seems like. So that's that. And then let me start going through the sets I have. And you'll see some of the sets are redundant, but it's like some of the stuff you want more than one too. Starting out, so this is a 1/4 inch set. It's a 21-piece set. So far I like it. The ratchet, it's okay. Not my top choice, but you can hear it's pretty fine. And, the whole set, again, you can get this on sale pretty cheap at Harbor. And they're, 6-point sockets. It's a, like I said, this is a, let me find it here. This is a 1/4 inch. It's got SAE and metric. The real great value of this is it's got a 14 millimeter 1/4 inch, 9/16 1/4 inch. What's missing, what I would have liked to have seen, is a 5.5. Doesn't have that. But this, they're all 12-point. These Pittsburgh Pro, they seem pretty nice. I haven't broken one yet. But, you got to have a good 1/4 inch set. This is a pretty decent one. So I got it, like I said, I got it on sale. It's gotten me out of a few jams already. Next up, I've got several sets here. I've got this 67880. It's a metric Allen set. It's 3/8 and 1/2 inch, 9-piece. It's got 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 7 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 14 millimeter, and 17 millimeter. It's a pretty good little set, especially, again, for the price. I got it on sale. Nice little torque set. Again, Harbor, Pittsburgh, lifetime warranty. 67914. If you're working on a Jeep, on a lot of the new cars, you're going to need a Torx. So this has T10, 15, 20, 25, 27, 30, 40, 45, and T50. So pretty good. I also have this little security set. I don't know if you can see, they got little holes in them. So it's a little torque set too, not as big as this set, but does the job. That's T15, 20, 30, 40, 45, and 55. So with all that, you got a lot of Torx and a lot of metric Allens. You'll see what I do if I got a standard Allen. Torques are universal. You don't need metric. You just have the one. You know, we're taking apart Chevys, we're taking apart Fords, we're taking apart Hondas, we're taking apart Cadillacs, GMs, Dodges. We're doing it all. So I wanted to put together a record bag that I can just take the bags. I know I got everything. This is the old school Craftsman set, USA, when they were still making tools in USA and good. These things were ripper deals around Christmas. I think I got this thing for like $13. It was crazy. I wish I bought more of these. I bought one for my son and stuff, but I wish I'd bought this and the standard. Obviously, this isn't my home tools. This is what I take out. So what's nice about this set, you got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then I bought a Williams 19. Got the old school from when I was a mechanic. I like the Williams ones better, but this old school Mac USA wobble. I broke one of these a long time ago. It's like an Allen brand 3/8 to quarter. It's USA, and then I got like an Allen brand 8mm 6-point, and I got the Craftsman USA ratchet in here. So, you know, it's a nice little set. I can rely on the sockets. Most likely I'm not going to break one. So I got something that takes me all the way up to 19. The hard sizes, 15, 16, 18, that you start running into on some of the European cars and some of the GM cars and stuff like that. It's a good set. Again, this isn't Harbor, this is USA. In the links description, I put in a set from Williams, which if you don't know, Williams is Snap-on. Some people claim the chrome's not as nice and stuff. I say you hand a Snap-on socket and you hand a Williams socket to a blind man, you can feel the weight. They're the same. They're made in the same factory. Williams makes the stuff for Snap-on. Snap-on owns Williams. So, you know, if you can't find a set like this, I say I put the link in there. Buy the Williams. I've got some Williams sets. I love them. Have one good set. If you're working on new stuff, you want metric, have one good metric 3/8 set. That's going to be your go-to. This is my go-to. Next up, this thing, I got this on sale. It's pretty cheap normally, but when there's a sale, you cannot beat the price on the set at Harbor. It's a 40-piece Pittsburgh socket set. And again, lifetime warranty. I mean, we're talking, I think the regular price on this it's under $10. I know that. And this is like a great thing you throw in your car. You got a ratchet. Is it a great ratchet? No. Is it a ratchet? Yes. Okay. What's great, remember I mentioned on the 1/4-inch set? So you got metric and standard here. Remember I mentioned on the 1/4-inch set that you don't have a 5x5 on that 1/4-inch set? Guess what this has? I don't know if you can read that there. 5.5, baby. So, you know, again, a couple of, and you got 8-point sockets. You got 3 8-point sockets. You got a 3/8 quarter adapter. It goes up to, I think, 15. Goes up to 11/16 on that side. This is a great throw in the car set, but it's also a great wrecker set. And, you know, if you need a set to weld on sockets and stuff for different things or modify sockets, great set. I love this thing for the price. Again, is it something I'm going to put in my rollaway? No. But for going to the wrecker and road trips, I love this set. Next up, this is a set that came with the Subaru that my son bought. It's garbage. I'll be the first one to tell you the plastic was rotted out on it. So what I did was I went to Harbor. I bought some socket racks and I just cut them up so they'd fit. And then I put the metric on there and the standard. This goes from 4.5 up to 17, actually 19 right there. Has a spark plug socket in it. So I'll show you guys later, but I bought a set at Harbor, Pittsburgh, guaranteed forever. It's a set of 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch universals. This is an old Husky adapter, 3/8 to 1/4 that I just found at the wrecker one time. This is an extension. I think either came with this set or I found at the wrecker. But, you know, it's again, these are 12 point. If you know the difference, you know, obviously you go to 6 point. Sometimes you can't get a 6 point in there. You need a 12 point. So guess what? Got us some cheapo 12 points to get you in there when you need to. But, you know, again, would this thing be in my main toolbox? No way, Jose. But if for the wrecker, it's nice to have extra stuff. It's nice to have a set of 3/8 and stuff 12 point. So that's why I got it. What else do we have in here? We've got, this is your 1/2 inch set from Harbor, all metric. I think on this one, it's missing 15, 18, and 21. But, oh wait, no, it has 15, 18, and 21, which is awesome, but it's missing a 16. And then I threw a 32 in there. I think some of the sets, the one I put a link into, had a 32. 32 is common on like the axle that comes out of Honda. It's a 32 millimeter nut to pull that axle and stuff. These have got me out of a lot of jams. Again, if I got to choose, you know, you only have so much room. If I'm going to take a set at 1/2 inch impacts, I'm taking metric nowadays. So, you know, I've got enough standard sockets in here, you'll see, to cover me. So I've got the metric here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is my kind of go-to 3/8 set. So what I did, this is all American except for the universal joint. This is part of that universal joint kit, the Pittsburgh Pro. Everything else in here is old school USA Craftsman. So I've got the old school Craftsman set, 3/8. So I got something I can depend on that goes with the other that goes with the socket set I was showing you. So you can see I've got, I think this is like a 10 inch, 6 inch, 3 inch, 1 inch, and then I got another Mac USA wobble. I've converted all my stuff in my main toolbox to either Snap-on or Williams wobbles because I like them better. I broke one of these Macs a long time ago, so I'm always scared of them. But I put links in the description of Williams set because you can't get Craftsman USA anymore. I actually got one like this and like this at the swap meet this weekend for pretty cheap. But otherwise, I put links in the description for Williams because Williams USA, nice and strong. It's like having Snap-on extensions at a Craftsman price. Now, again, you want to have a couple good ratchets. Got that Craftsman one in there. Here's another Craftsman. If you don't know about spark plug ratchets, watch Hot Rod Garage. See what Tony and what Lucky used. I like, obviously, in my main toolbox is a Snap-on, but I've had a Snap-on spark plug ratchet since I was 18 or 19, and I love them. It's my go-to ratchet. This is a Craftsman USA one. I put a link in the description to the new Craftsman Chinese one, but you know, again, you're taking it to a wrecker. But I love the spark plug ratchet. You can get a lot of force. It's a you can tilt the head and everything. This is my go-to ratchet. If I had to have one ratchet for the rest of my life, obviously it's not the Craftsman one, I'd get the Snap-on, but this is it. So I take one with me to the wrecker. And finally, we've got one more set here. That this one was on sale too. It's kind of redundant for that other set I was showing you before. It's a 63013, but it's got 3/8 and 1/2 inch in there. It's got a nut driver. It's got a few more sizes. It's got 2 spark plug sockets in there. It's again, it's got stuff that. So this is the 51 piece. I put it in the description, and you'll see. Sorry, I'm looking for. I had some notes here on some of these. And okay, so it's great value, good for various sizes. It's got 5.5 millimeter and a 16 millimeter. It's got the 1/4 inch nut driver and the spark plug sockets and lifetime warranty. So the only thing I really don't like about it is this little foam thing they put in there. But look at that. I mean, this is under 20 bucks. I got it on sale for a ripper deal. 7/8, 3/4. This is 1/2 inch. You got your 1/2 inch ratchet. Got your 3/8 inch ratchet. I already showed you I carry some good ratchets. Then you got some garbage too. But, you know, garbage that works pretty good for the price. 17 millimeter. This is the beefiest 3/8 I've ever seen in my life. Got your spark plug socket, 13/16. Spark plug socket, 5/8. Like I said, it gets there. 5.5 millimeter nut driver. I mean, this is another, you know, you got this stuff in your bag. You got some go-to stuff. If you're working with somebody, it's nice to have redundancy. The more of the same size you got, the more you can get out of jams, the more you can work on stuff at the same time. I mean, I pulled 2 LS3 heads off a 2009 GMC Denali about a month ago, and one of them had dropped a valve seat. The sizes I needed for that, I think, were 8, 10 millimeter. I think I needed 13 and 15 millimeter. You know, I had everything here that I needed. Worked out awesome. So that's this bag. Now we're going to move into some of my other bags here. All right, always take some gloves too. All right, so next up, we've got more sockets. Another set of gloves. Never gonna have too many gloves. Also, I highly recommend, you know, taking some Band-Aids with you and stuff like that. If you're pulling engines, take some water, take some food. You're going to be there for hours. You know, it's good to have some Band-Aids with you. So what do we got in this bag? This is a 1/2 inch. So you'll see I have a 1/2 inch set here. Let's see if this is it. No, next one. So this is your 1/2 inch. Sorry, I got it all bagged up so I don't lose anything when I'm out at the wrecker or on the road or whatever. You can see this is your 1/2 inch, and it's metric and standard. Again, all links are in the description. So 62304 21 piece. Bad thing about this, it's all 12 point. Wish it was 6 point. I wish it had a 16, 18, and 21, but it doesn't. That's where, like you'll see in one of these bags, I have a 21 millimeter I take with me. But you know, these are Pittsburgh Pro, guaranteed for life. You got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, 22. I don't know why they don't have 21. I mean, get rid of the 11 and put a 21 in there, and 24. And this goes up to 15 16ths on this side and goes down to 3/8 down here. So nice little set for the price, because it came with a 1/2-inch ratchet too, which was better than the other cheapo set I was showing you. So let's go through the ratchet that came with it. That's going to be right here. So this is another this is a 1/2-inch bag I got, where I had a 3/8 inch bag before. Here's the ratchet that comes in that set from Pittsburgh, guaranteed for life. Again, pretty fine. Nice little ratchet. Not the best, but great for a wrecker bag, road bag, you know. I bought a T-handle bar. It came with this 1/2-inch extension, Pittsburgh Pro, and the Pittsburgh Pro 1/2-inch to 3/8. So you got some options. You could put a 1/2-inch ratchet on a 3/8 socket. You got a nice long extension. Like I said, here's your 21 millimeter. Got to have a 21, so I got 21 deep impact 1/2-inch. Then I have then this is like one that I found in another Taiwan set, 1 1/16. You know, Taiwan. This isn't even Harbor. Am I going to put this in my main box? No. Am I going to throw it in a wrecker box in case I ever need an 1 1/16? Hell yes, it's in there. Then I got the Pittsburgh Impact 1/2-inch. So this is a 10-inch, I think. And I think I can't remember, I think it's a 4-piece set. So you got like a 6 or 4-inch in there, like a 2-inch and a 1-inch. And then this is that last universal and that 3 universal set I talked about, where you get a 1/4, 3/8, 1/2-inch universal. It's nice, get you out of a jam. You can see I've got universals, I've got wobble sockets. I'm set for almost everything to get in and then with having all these long extensions, you can piece them together with the adapters. You can come in and mix and match. So if I had to go in really deep to get a socket off of a transmission or something like that, top of a transmission, and I can't reach it, guess what? I could combine 1/2-inch and 3/8. You'll see, I got the adapter set. These things are gold. When I first started wrenching, I had a 64-piece Craftsman set. And I had one of these sets from Craftsman. And with this, you can go 3/8 to 1/2-inch, 1/2-inch to 3/8, 3/8 to 1/4-inch, 1/4-inch to 3/8. So you can put a 1/4-inch ratchet with a 3/8 socket. If you're in a tight spot, if you can deal with just the length there, you could go 1/4-inch all the way up to 1/2-inch on a socket. If you're in there in a tight space and you just got to move stuff around, this is a 6.2 851, guaranteed for life. I've got a million of these sets. I've got good Craftsman sets. I've got like 3 or 4 Craftsman sets, and I got like 3 or 4 of these Pittsburgh ones, because these things are awesome when you're in a jam. What else do I got? So I've got the 5/8 and 13/16 spark plug sockets. You can use these for lugs. You can use them for spark plugs. Always, if you're going to pull a motor, pull the spark plugs out and give them a look. So you really want to have these with you. Plus, if you're out wrenching. So the 5/8 is I think they're coming out with a new one or something, but this is a 67792, and the 13/16 is a 67793. They're 3/8 drive, but you can put a wrench on them. If you've got a tight lug nut or something, these things are sweet. So then I've got the link in the description. I've got a standard set, goes from 5/16 up to 7/8. This is 3/8 deep. So again, with all these adapters, I can put a 1/2-inch breaker bar on this. I can do whatever I want. But this way I got a nice Pittsburgh guaranteed for life 3/8 deep set standard. And then I've got Pittsburgh deep metric 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I wish instead of the 11, they'd give you an 8. If Harbor's listening, that's what I'd do. Ditch the 11, give me an 8mm. But again, I don't know why I went with the multicolored. I guess it's easier to pick out. Well, I'll go with the multicolored metric. But this way, again, I got a deep 3/8 set of metric and standard. As you can see, I'm wrenching on anything out there. This is why I call it the Go Bag and stuff too, is that, man, when I'm taking a road trip, I throw this stuff in, I'm ready for just about everything. Oh, the story I was going to tell also is when we were at Harris Ranch, I couldn't get the breaker bar on the tensioner for the belt to get the serpentine belt off. So I ended up using my Craftsman spark plug ratchet. I couldn't get enough leverage with the ratchet. So guess what I did? I took the long extension bar, put a deep socket on it, and put it on the wrench. Obviously, this is a 1/2-inch, but I put it on my 3/8-inch spark plug ratchet. Look at all the extra leverage I got. And that helped me get that tensioner loose and then got us back on the road. So a little tip, sometimes you don't have a pipe to throw on a wrench. If you got a big enough socket that'll slip over something and a couple extensions, it'll give you a little leverage. Just another little trick for when you're out there. In the words of Tim the Dogman Spurgeon, sometimes you got to run with your broom. All right, so then in here I've got this killer screwdriver set that I picked up at Harbor that, again, was on sale. It's a, let me find it here, 22-piece screwdriver set. It's crazy how much stuff they give you on this. Again, I've got Williams screwdrivers and Snap-on screwdrivers and Craftsman screwdrivers in my big box, but for the wrecker, I got a 22-piece set that can get you out of jams. I mean, look at the stuff you get in here. It's insane, and some of them look pretty damn good. So this is a number 3 Phillips. Look at that. You can put a wrench on it. The handle's okay, Here's and they marked them. Here's a number 1 Phillips, nice and long. Here's your go-to, number 2. Again, you can throw a wrench on it. And they put this set on sale all the time, or you could buy it when they're having a sale. You got a bunch of Torx screwdrivers. It's you got your stubby, number 2. You got your little angle deal to put in there with flat or number 2 Phillips. You can't you can't beat this set. I mean, look at the little Phillips they give you in here. If you're taking dash stuff apart or an instrument or something out there, or you got to change something on the road, again, it's just, you know, it's about getting yourself out of a jam, and at the wrecker, it's about getting the stuff apart. When you get it home and you got to put it back together, use the good stuff. But, you know, this stuff will get it apart for you, or it'll get you back home. You know, look at the stuff they give you in the flat screwdrivers. This thing here, you know, when you got when you're pulling a torque converter, or when you're undoing the bolts on the torque converter so you can pull the transmission out, you can stick this baby up in there, jam the torque converter, and hold it while you're breaking the bolts through. Again, you can throw a wrench on there. That's a pretty nice little screwdriver. You know, it's got the nice little stubby. It's got some square ones if you're an electrician and you're doing panels or whatever. This is a nice set, you know, especially for a wrecker go bag box, you know, for road trips or whatever. And then, you know what? I just carry it now. But if you think you're pulling a motor, you want to have a chain, and you want to put some bolts on it. You can always scrounge up some bolts at the wrecker and take them off a motor or something, but it's good to have a nut and bolt on there, and then you can just bolt your chain on and go. You know, we pulled a few. I'll tell you what, it's not fun, but when you got this stuff, at least you know you can do it. You can come out the other end of things, and that's what it's all about, is coming out the other end. So we got, 3 bags down, 1 to go. Last bag is going to be mostly wrenches, a little bit of screwdrivers and stuff, and I think we're going to be round on the corner here pretty soon on everything. But I hope this is giving people some ideas. You know, it's not an ad for Harbor Freight. You can get a lot of the stuff at Walmart too, if you had to. I know they put their stuff on sale. I know Lowe's and Home Depot are closing out some of their Christmas stuff. You know, again, you can go to the swap meet and do it that way too if you need to. It's about having stuff with you when you're on the road or whatever you're doing. So here's our last bag right here. Another 12-inch. So I had 2 15-inch bags, and then 2 12s. So this is, I think these are under $5. If you're doing fuel rails and stuff or air conditioning, you want this. So you don't have to cut it up, especially if you're trying to take a GM intake home with you or whatever. It's for AC and fuel line disconnects. Got to have something like this. You can pick them up at O'Reilly or whatever, but again, under $5 at Harbor. Always take some extra bags for nuts and bolts. These things, I was watching a YouTube video. So this is a 61988, and it's pretty darn cheap at Harbor. And what they pointed out in the YouTube video, which I kind of knew, but I kind of forgot, is you can use it, you know, obviously you got your screwdriver ends that go in that, and it's reversible and it goes in the thing, but then you got 2 different sizes here for doing, you can do hose clamps. And so this one, I got it written down here. So it's a 4-in-1 screwdriver. It'll do, so you basically have a nut driver too for 1/4 inch and 5/16, which is pretty much your hose clamp sizes. So I picked this up especially for that. So if I'm pulling off hose clamps out at the wrecker or out on the road, then I'm not having to use a screwdriver. I've got basically a nut driver, a really cheap little nut driver from Harbor. So the guy reminded me when I was watching the YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. This is like a $2 or $3 set. Actually, this is part of the old set, but of screwdrivers in here. Again, got your number 2. You got some flat screwdrivers and stuff. You got some stubbies that it comes with. It's just about getting you out of a jam and having different sizes, you know. And if two people are working on stuff, two of you are able to do it together. And then what I have in here, I know you were all wondering when I showed the metric Allen set, they have this set where, again, this is like under $10. You got standard and metric, and get you out of a jam. You've got both. So you run into a standard Allen, you got a set. You run into metric, you got a set. You know, I like having the socket set too, but this way, you know, you got the hand ones, and you can always cut them up, do whatever. You know, I long for the days when you take a grinder with you into the wrecker. Now you can't. So what I do is I leave them outside. And then if I have to cut a tool up or whatever, I can. These things I put in the description. They're like under $4. Okay. It's a LED flashlight. It's got like 3 settings. You can recharge it in the car on the way to the wrecker, or if you're out on the road and your battery's going dead, you're gonna have to work on the car, throw it in the cigarette lighter while it's still got to charge, and charge this thing a little bit, and you got a flashlight with you. I recommend getting a few of these. Throw one in the car, throw one in the wrecker bag, and you know, you got a flashlight that's gonna help you work on stuff. So I've had these for over 30 years. For cutting hoses, I put a link in the description to a similar one that Summit has. I think it's a Lyle. You can cut hoses, you can cut wires. I've used this. I think this is the same blade I've been using for like 30 years. Obviously, I don't use it all the time, but I always take it with me to the wrecker, because when you're trying to pull an engine or something else out and you want to get it out, you want something that you can cut faster. So I got that. Got an old school set of Craftsman snips. But I mean, you could do, you know, Quinn or whatever. You know, you just want to have a set of snips with you. There's tie wraps, there's wires you got to cut. Got to have that stuff. I've got a 3-piece set of crescents. You don't know when. Hey, you might want to have to put a crescent on one of those Allens or something, or put it on one of those screwdrivers. So I got a 8-inch. A 6-inch and a 10-inch. Arbor just had these on sale. They're not as nice as the previous set I'd bought, but Pittsburgh, you know, guaranteed forever. And this is about getting yourself out of a jam. You do all kinds of stuff. Again, Arbor had these on sale recently. This is a 5-inch 39666, and they're kind of backwards from vice grips. You push them and then they do that, but you know, it looks like you can probably do the cutter thing, and you got a little set of vice grips. I love these Bremen, however you pronounce it, ones at Harbor. To me, these are just like vice grips. You got the cutter, you got the nice strong grip. These are the 10-inch. I used to be religious about buying vice grip, but then you know, they went to China. I complained to the head of marketing at Rubbermaid about it. These are USA vice grip. Beeman makes one that's just as good. Again, you got your cutter, you got your needle nose. These, I think, are like the 5-inch or so ones. So basically, I carry 3 sets of vice grips with me. And then you got your cheapo Harbor Freight needle nose, so you can reach in and do stuff. Again, it's about having a bag that if you get into trouble and you got to fix your car somewhere, or you're taking stuff apart, you got the stuff to take it apart with. You can see what you're doing, and you got options. You got one set of wrenches with you or whatever, you got no options. You got crescent wrenches, you got all kinds of stuff, you got a lot of options to get stuff done. You can get creative, like I was talking about with the extension and stuff. All right, wrenches. Harbor just had a giveaway on these things. I picked up both sets. I got a metric and standard. These things are actually pretty nice. They're polished and everything. You got this is the metric set. It's a 42305. You got a size 7 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 10. For once they skip 9, which is awesome. 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 19. So what are we missing? Well, missing a 15. So I picked this up at the flea market last weekend. I still want to get a 16 and an 18 to supplement this set. So if anybody wants to send me a 16 and 18, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back out at the flea market. I put links in there to get them from Home Depot, the Husky ones. They're like $5 or $6 a piece. That's a good way to supplement it too. You can buy singles. The Huskies are guaranteed forever. But yeah, I personally, like I said, GM, you're using 15. It's good to have 16 and 18. You got those with the rest of this, you're doing pretty good. So we got that. And if you wrench a lot, again, are these in the Craftsman are, but are these in my main toolbox? No. But the wrecker bag, hell yes they are. This is another Harbor set, Pittsburgh set, that I can't remember if we found it or got it on sale or whatever. My son got a better one. Goes from 1/4 inch up to 3/4. I'm missing 9/16 and 5/8 out of it. I had it, so I just threw it in. I think they're Pittsburgh. They don't even say Pittsburgh. They might not be. We might have found these somewhere. This is the other set. Yeah, Craftsman recently had a giveaway thing where you bought something up to a certain dollar amount and you got one of these sets. So I got the standard and I got the metric. 9-piece polished. You got 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, and 3/4. And anybody that knows, 9/16 you can do 14. 9/16 is a little looser than 14. 14 is a little tighter. And you can mix and match sometimes and get away with little cheat tricks like that. I didn't have a 14 millimeter wrench for years. I used a 9/16. So, I got... So far, what have we seen? We got a metric set. We got 2 standard sets. Then we got another bag. Put nuts and bolts in. And then we got the combo set. I'm scared to kind of pull this out because A, it's hard to get in the bag, and B, sometimes one of these latches is broken and they all tend to dump out on me. But nice little combo set I picked up. I think this was on sale. You got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 19. Again, would love to see a 15, 16, 18 in here, but what are you going to do? Then you got a 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, 13/16, and 7/8. Oh, there's something else I wanted to show everybody. Most people that work on cars will know this, but just in case, here's your little leverage trick. Yep, there goes the top. All right. So you're wrenching on something. You can't get enough leverage with the one wrench. So it's better probably the other way around. So if I want to go loosen with the 9/16, I can throw another 9/16 on the 9/16. That's the best way to do it. But I got a 5/8 here. Gives me extra long leverage. So I can loosen. I can tighten. And see how much longer my wrench just got? Little trick. I know they sell that tool that goes on there. I was going to make one. But that's a nice little trick when you're at the wrecker and you can only get a wrench in there and you got to get it loose. That's what I do. So I think we've gone over just about everything here. This set, I don't know why, but it's missing 7/16. We must have lost it somewhere. But luckily I've got 7/16 in some of those other sets. So that's where it's nice to have multiple sets. And, sometimes you need multiple of the same wrench, So a couple other things I want to go over here. Um, Again, I've got links in the description of all these tools I've gone over, and if they don't make them anymore, like some of the Craftsman stuff and things, I did other stuff. But like I said, bring a chain for pulling engines. Sometimes bring a jack. Sometimes you need to jack something up or whatever. You know, sometimes a car's a little dangerous. Shake the car before you get under it and stuff like that. You know, make sure it's safe. Bring some food and water. Bring some gloves. Bring some bandages and a first aid kit. You know, you don't know when something bad's going to happen. You're going to cut yourself. And then think about, if you know what you're going to pull parts for, check ahead of time, figure out what sizes you need and stuff. Also, if you're road tripping, take some silicone with you, take some Teflon tape, take some Gorilla tape, take some brake clean, take some Alumaseal, take a tire repair kit, jumper cables, things like that, and you won't be spending the night in your car. You know, that's the kind of stuff. We drive old cars that need to be worked on and stuff, but I got a lot of tools I can take. You can see I bought all this stuff on sale. So I mean, yeah, with the power tools I got some money, but I only got 100 and something, maybe 150 in all these tools. I went over maybe a little more than that when you start counting vice grips and stuff like that, and the hose cutters and things. But this isn't a ton of money because I just sat there and waited. You know, put a list together at Harbor Freight if you want, and see when the stuff comes on sale. Then when it comes on sale, you see it and buy it. But having all this stuff, if you work on a lot of stuff, you go through the wrecker and you're going to get stuff for your OBS Chevy, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, I need this for my Dodge. Oh, they got that Dodge. You know, we've pulled seats out, sway bars, we pulled two 350 engines, we pulled the heads off the LS motor, pulled exhaust manifolds off of a 300 Ford. I mean, you name it, the stuff I've done over the years. I've been going to wrecking yards since I was a little kid. I used to go all the time to Martinez Auto Dismantlers, and you know, and then a lot of the old school places closed, and now it's a lot of pick and pull, which again, row 52, you can't beat that for finding cars and stuff. It's secret mission. But you know, I hope this helps some people out. You know, again, I think it'd be cool, like somebody like Richard Holdner that always talks about going to the wrecker, and he's done some wrecker videos, to see what his little bag of tricks is like. But now you know what's in my bag of tricks. Like and subscribe.